name's Chris. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our disc stacks. They're disc pants manufactured specifically for disc golf. They basically have four-way stretch, water repellent material. They have a towel attachment pocket in the front side of each pair of pants. They have zip back pockets. They have enough belt loops to tie you up, and you got reflectors, so for those of you riding to the course on your bike, you'll be safe in the dude pants. We're predicting these pants are going to become legendary. Get yourself some.
Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm joined here by Big Germ, Jeremy Coling, who has just completed the second round here at the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. Big Germ, you're going into the final day with a lead. How does that feel?
It feels really good. Anytime you're in position to play your round and know that if you win the last lead card, you're probably going to win. It's a great situation. So I feel really comfortable with this course and just got to lock up my putt. Missed a couple easy ones today, but overall I put together another pretty good round and I'm pretty pleased with my overall play. So I feel really comfortable out here though. It's a lot of fun. It's the kind of golf I want to play. You have a mixture open and wooded, and I really like golf courses, disc golf courses, that challenge everything that you have. And I think that this place does a good job of challenging us to not just throw open and long shots. That's out there. Throw rollers, sidearms, backhands, you name it. And so, you know, when you find a course that you really like, it's easy to get into a groove. And so I feel really good out here, and I like my chances.
Well, and speaking of the groove, I've heard that you've bagged 2 or 3 of them since switching over to the Innova lineup. Yep. What do you feel has been the most successful disc that you've added to your bag?
I just took the grooves out about 9 years ago, but they're ready to go back in the bag soon. I'm just waiting for the right time. Okay. But right now, what's really working well for me, I have a couple discs that I've just put in recently. The Champion Strike is one of the best sidearm discs that I've ever thrown for the woods. It's a gentle left fade with a gentle right fade at the end for my forehands. Really predictable. It's not too understable that it just really rolls out, so it's a really nice control driver, max speed driver for me in the woods. But probably my favorite disc right now is the Eagle L that I got from Richard Kielander. And he got that one from Paul Ulibarri, and it's something he threw for 5 years, and it's beat up to perfection. And if you see me throw a Champion Strike, it's a gentle Eagle L, and it is just, it's on point. It does exactly what I want it to do. It's like a psychic. Like, it knows when I release it, it's going to turn over if I want it to turn over, or go straight when I want it to go straight. And so really finding a good connection with that disc right now. So.
And 2 people or 2 items both thinking like Big Germ at the same time in sync, that's a little bit scary. But when you put your head on your pillow tonight before the final 18 holes takes place tomorrow, what will you be thinking just before you go to bed tonight?
I don't know. Hopefully that food that I ate went down nicely, and you know, I just want to make sure that I'm really comfortable. Got tucked in, you know, I like to get tucked in real nice and tight. I don't know. I try not to dwell too much on like what's going on with the scores. I mean, I know that Ricky's 1 stroke behind me. I know Simon shot a great round today, but like my only concern is, you know, my next shot when I get there. And so I don't really like to think too much about tomorrow, hole 7, that one we start on. Like, what am I going to do? You know, I mean, it changes. The wind changes, the situation changes. So, you know, you just basically just try to go out there and have a blank mind, and, you know, no expectations. Just, you know, set a goal for yourself to play well. And so that's really the only thing I've tried to focus on, is just play as well as I can, and, you know, we'll see how it all ends up.
All right, well, that's your gentle giant who's in the lead, Big Germ, 1 stroke over Ricky Wysocki. We look forward to covering the live action during the final round on Saturday. Maybe Big Germ will step on the mic and give us some insights as he does so well. Thanks, Big Germ.
You got it. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Nope, go. Hello everyone and welcome to our 3rd and final day at the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. We've got a great leader card for you here today with 4 guys just 3 strokes apart from one another. Greg Barsby is here at 19 under par, Simon Lizotte at 20 under, Ricky Wysocki sitting at 21 under par, and your leader, Big Germ, Jeremy Coling, sitting at 22 under par. We're going to get right to the action. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf right here with the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
solid intro. Didn't mess up one word.
Thanks, guys.
I was just waiting for you to stumble.
Not today, Germ. Bring in the A game.
All right, thank you everybody for coming out to witness the final round for the 2017 Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. We have your lead card today starting off at 2:30. First on the box, representing Innova Champion Disc, it's Jeremy Big Germ Coley. Yeah.
Very low and direct route here today by Coling off the tee.
Second on the box, representing Latitude 64, we've got Richard Saki Bawaisaki.
Waisaki wasn't happy with the effort. The last 2 days he was a combined 5 feet away from the pin. Today a little bit further.
It's Simon Lizotte.
Getting the green flag.
Rounding out our card and representing Dude Clothing, it's Greg Barsby.
Barsby with the higher hyzer looking to push that down. And it's carried OB. Thanks to Steve and Todd Dodge, we have coverage from the women earlier today. We'll be bringing that through you shot by shot. We'll be back in a few moments after women's coverage on Hole 7. And Waisaki's going to start off the day with a par from just outside circle 1. Footer is online but short. And Barsby's going to save the par after the penalty stroke here on hole number 1 from just inside 25 feet. Lizotte with less than 15 feet, looking straight. Birdie to start for Lizotte. Big Germ will bring it in the 1 full meter. He is in bounds. He'll be left with less than 10 feet. And Ricky will tap out. We got a brief walk to hole 2. We'll be back in a moment after a word from our sponsors.
If I lay up, I get a personal best. But if I hit the putt, it's a new course record.
Three, Simon. Two, Greg.
Repeat.
Three, good hit.
Big Germ inside. The 616-foot par 4, hole number 8. And Lizotte with not enough height. And Ricky's throwing into a light headwind off the tee. And just missing the tree is Barsby. We've got women's coverage from earlier. Let's take a look now. And Lizotte first to approach with a gentle turnover. However, that is hyzering out. We have a medium putt from there. Big Germ about the same distance from the pin. Germ's forehand is low. He's asking for it to get up, but he's going to have a very long putt from there. Needed a little bit more air into the headwind. Waisaki contemplating a forehand or backhand shot. Looks like he's lining up a backhand. And he opts for the smaller window. Gets a little bit of cabbage on that top right shot. He's going to be short and have a long putt from there. Barsby with a relatively straight shot. Just a gentle fade here to the left. He's going to want to watch out for the exact same branch that Waisaki had just clipped. And keeping it low and 3 feet from the pin is Greg Barsby. Again, thank you guys for joining us today for the third and final round of the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll have Cameron Frymark join us on the commentary here today. He's finishing up his MC duties and various other hats he's been wearing throughout the weekend. So I'd like to thank Cameron and the entire Waco. Long lunging putt from approximately 85 feet for Coling. And Waisaki, just like hole 1, finds himself a step behind circle 1. And Ricky takes his time, regroups, and nails the putt, 34 feet. Waisaki takes the birdie 3. Lizotte just a meter inside the 10-meter circle. Simon Lizotte converts as well. Jeremy Coling will be the only competitor to not take the birdie here. And Barsby will tap in for his 2. We'll be back with you in a few moments for our third hole right here at the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by DD. Lizotte with the clean hyzer approach from the right side and hits off the pole. Skips inside the circle but hits off the pole. Waisaki also going out wide to the right and stays right of the pin. Barsby opts for the left side fairway shot with the forehand. Very effective. And Big Germ's lining up the same angle. Executed beautifully, looking for a little skip towards the pin. He's got it. And let's see how the women played hole 9 earlier today. Wysocki executes. He is the furthest one out at no more than 22 feet. Lizotte has less than 15 feet, as does Barsby, and Jeremy Colling is a mere 4 feet from the pin. Now we're going to see all 4 birdies here. A little woo out of Barsby, and again 4 for 4. Big Jump taps in. Brief walk over to hole number 10. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flash Flight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory. Is your or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
Joining me now is professional disc spinner Simon Lizotte. Simon, how do you do it?
Practice, practice, no sleep, practice.
That's pretty impressive. Now, is it a special type of disc that allows you to do that?
Any disc works. Damn it.
All right. Well, Simon Lizotte is, of course, here on our lead card today. What's the game plan? Third round, final round. Tell us what you're going to do.
Well, I'm kind of getting used to lead cards again, so that's a good thing. And game plan is to throw good drives, because totally other than the Memorial, my drives are just all over the place. These woods have been quite tough, I think, for a lot of players, for me also. But my putter felt so good. I don't know my percentage. I didn't check the stats, but it felt like I made every putt.
How in the world do you get so dialed in where you're so focused in making every putt?
What? What was that?
A big germ's going to try and putt with your disc. I'm not sure that'll work. But how do you get focused? How do you get dialed in for your putting?
Stick to your routine. That's what I like to teach in my clinics. Just find something that works. And even if there's some off weeks or some off days, just don't try and change right away just because you had a bad putting day. Just stick to it, and it'll come back when confidence comes back.
Is that true for Big Germ as well? Should he stick to his routine when he doesn't putt well?
He should totally stick to his routines. I love his routines.
Okay. All right, well, this is Simon Lizotte. He's going after it. He's on the leader card here today. Any messages to all your fans and friends and family around the world?
Thanks for support, and thanks for watching, and I love you.
Big Germ, Simon Lizotte, we're out.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the fairway of hole number 10. We've caught up with the second card, which is working their way down this very tight and wooded fairway. I'm again joined by Cameron Frymark. And Cameron, thanks for joining me for a third day. I'm honestly, I'm kind of surprised I haven't chased you off.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Jerry. I'm glad to be here. And no, you haven't scared me off just yet.
Well, we are out here, and we've heard that James Conrad has started out very hot. I believe he's gotten the first 3 for 3, and we're keeping an eye on him as well as a number of the competitors. All not messing around, as he's bumped up at least 16 spots. What a story this weekend by Nicola Castro.
Yeah, I can believe it. James has the skills that this course requires. He's got great control with driving the putter in these woods, and he's got a long, controlled arm as well. And Nico, everyone knows that he shreds, and so it's really cool to see him come out here and do work on these courses, or this course.
Well, we've also seen that Patrick Brown is 3 down through 4 holes. We also see that Miles Seaborn has started out hot, 3 down through 3 holes, as well as James Conrad, as we said, and Simon Lizotte, who's 3 for 3. So some very hot starts out here today, and I think it's going to be a battle throughout.
Yeah, with the scoring as close as it is at the top, I plan to see a lot of really aggressive backups if they're going to get off the fairway, but we'll see how it plays out.
Well, Big Germ is still maintaining a one-stroke. Lazat has birdied all 3 holes to start. Ricky Wysocki has gotten the 2 out of the first 3. And Greg Barsby also 2 out of the first 3. So tight race, and I think anything can happen here as we're going to move throughout the next 15 holes. I'm seeing the second card still getting up toward the basket here. A number of us cameramen and media are in the middle of the fairway here on hole 10. I'm not certain if they're planning on throwing. And we see action taking place. So in just a few moments, I think and we'll get back to the action. First to tee should be Simon Lazat.
Good. I can't tell if he kicked left or right because I didn't see it, but I think he's in that stuff, and that is a bad shot.
Little momentum shift maybe happening here as, oh, that one comes in. Wysocki, I believe that is, with his mid-range hitting off the tree on the right side.
More wood caught, and that one went to the... And so he's going to have maybe a roller from there to come up. It's going to be a tricky shot.
And what looked to be the 4th and final shot, almost trying to get clean through there. 4 tee shots, 4 sets of wood. They're getting worked here on this first very tight.
All 4 of them did not get, or got as far as... Good kick on that, but the play on this was you want to go on the left side of that cottonwood. Usually your tee shot, that's what you're aiming for, but he'll have a look at the basket from there for an upshot. Gets a nice skip on it. He could be having a 3 look at the basket.
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
And Ricky Wysocki's going to walk up the fairway to see exactly where he's trying to.
Ricky Wysocki putting it a little bit wide and catches a tree, but he should still be just outside the circle 2 for a look at 4, or for a look at 3. Oh, it sounds like he caught wood on that. He's nicely.
And Simon gets a kiss off the tree. He was headed directly toward it. Carries forward. They have a long putt from there. Wysocki launches one up. Circle 2. And Big Germ's going to take a look behind the basket, just how much distance he has between the pin and the river.
Smart play, just laying up for the easy 4 on this hole. 4 always feels fine on this hole.
And Simon converts from approximately 25 feet. I believe all 4 competitors are perfectly fine with not revisiting this hole again until next year's event. And Barsby is in, as will be Jeremy Colling. We'll be back with you in a few moments on our 5th hole right here during the final round on Championship Saturday.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And welcome back to hole number 11, Ricky Wysocki on the tee.
Well, I think he wanted to get a little bit more turn out of that. The idea is, well, he's still going to be just outside the circle. He wants a little bit more to the right on that.
Greg Barsby to throw second.
Ooh. Yeah, he should still be in the circle on that skip.
Big Germ looking to duplicate the previous. Short of the pin, he'll have a slightly uphill putt from there. And a slight turnover here by Lizotte coming in at that same tree. He's safe. Let's see what the women did earlier on hole number 11.
Next year.
And Greg Barsby has gone circle's edge. Although we are up on a hillside on top of a mound, he doesn't really have to worry about the hill behind him. He's got a little bit of room there behind the basket.
Yeah, there's no reason to not go for this.
Barsby splashes out from 38 feet. On a par. And Wysocki is just a bit on the strong side. And something very unusual, Ricky took 2 or 3 pump fakes there, and that is not something we see by Wysocki too. Bought that one slightly, just a bit high. He'll also take the par. Birdie. James Conrad charging from that second card. And had a share of the lead as this hole was starting for our leader card. Bottom of the basket for birdie. We're going to move on to the next hole. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf right here, the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Big Germ with a forehand here on hole number 12, a par 3, 267 feet, slightly downhill to the right.
Getting a little wide on the left side. He's still going to have a look for a long putt from there, but he's going to wish he'd got that a little bit further down.
And Simons is trying to fight through that right side. That is an outright shank as he chuckles to himself, but that was an outright shank. I've got no other words for that.
Again, it just did not hyzer out early enough, carried a little bit wide. You have to keep it pretty tight on this.
And Barsby, the only one to get past the initial set of trees. He's still short. However, that is the best drive in the group. Let's see what the women did on hole 12. with his back somewhat to the hole, trying to fight through with a backhand shot. Anheisering down the hillside. Wysocki will be up to throw second. And Cameron, it's one thing to not have a clean drive on a short birdie. Two here, pretty frustrating.
Yeah, you could tell as soon as he left his hand, he missed his line by 10 or 15 feet, and you could see the look on his face. It's not what he wanted to do.
Typically, we find a backup on the next hole. We'll see if that is the case today. If so, we'll see if we can catch up with some of our other interviews from earlier in the day. First, we have Greg Barsby from 52 feet.
Just a little bit too much hyzer on that putt. This is, again, one of those shorter holes. Looks like nobody again on the lead card is going to be able to do that today.
Simon's able to save a par here. Barsby with an 18-foot tester comeback for par. Left chain and in. We'll let this group finish out here. As you said, Cameron, 4 pars here on one of the shorter holes in the round. Ricky taps in. We'll be back with you after a word from our sponsor. Stay tuned right here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Welcome back to hole number 13, a par 4 at 462 feet. We're watching the spectators move on down the fairway, so give the players a little bit more room here. It's great to have them out here taking in the action this week. However, in these tight corridors, it's been very challenging to get the players, the media. So we're just doing a little bit of crowd control, and we're all ready to go. They're clear on the green. Lizotte is confirming, and looks like Big Germ's on the tee. And Big Germ almost got caught up by a single branch that was coming off a main tree on the left side. And Simon Lizotte's throw was about 12 inches right of Big Germ's. Caught a larger portion of the tree. And Barsby has the best result in the group after the other three hit trees. Let's get to the women's coverage here on hole 13. Welcome back. I am now joined by our tournament director, Ryan Draper. And Ryan, taking on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and becoming part of that, a massive undertaking. But if anyone's up for the challenge, I think Waco and your organization around here has proved you guys can do it.
Yes, sir. Waco has a really active community. The Waco Disc Golf Association is a really, really strong club. And then just the community in general. All the city has been helpful to us greatly. And all the volunteers that we have, I'm going to have to get a shout out to those guys. You know, a lot of guys around here go beast mode, and we have a lot of volunteers, but we have a really good core of volunteers that just go hard all the time. So we're really blessed to have that kind of a community here. Everybody in the town also is really supportive of disc golf. When you go around to the bars, like we're doing the pub crawl and the party tonight, when we've gone around and talked to the folks that own the businesses around town, they're super stoked to hear that we're doing this kind of a thing, and they want to make it bigger and better every year. And so, yeah, that's our goal.
Well, and your community has put on some pretty big disc golf events throughout the last few decades. You've been very active and very involved with all of that. What do you guys see in the future? Is this a stepping stone? How much bigger are you going to get?
Yeah, we hope this is a small stepping stone. We want to get, you know, we want to be on the top level every year. We definitely want to make sure that we're on the Pro Tour again next year, so we're trying to go big and hard this year and make sure everybody enjoys themselves. And yeah, we have a couple of big courses in the works right now that will allow us to throw bigger tournaments and maybe host some AM championships or some worlds or something like that along the line. So we have big goals, and we have our sights set high, but I think we can pull it off, and we're using this as a stepping stone definitely to do that.
Well, the collaboration and the partnerships and everything that I've seen thus far have been nothing short of amazing here in this town. So that kudos to you guys and everything that's going on. If you're not a professional or playing here on the Pro Tour, there's also another event going on literally across the river.
Yeah.
And that speaks to, again, the amount of courses you guys have and the support. This week's format is a little bit unique. Kind of explain to everyone, depending on which division you're playing, what might be happening.
Sure. So we did do something a little unique this year. We want the Pro Tour, and we know that the Pro Tour is all about spectators and eyeballs and media presence. And so we tried to create a unique format between the two sides, the pro side and the AM side, so that the AMs have all the opportunity and time to come over and watch the pros. So the way that we did that was we started the pro side of this tournament on a Thursday, and then we started the amateur side on a Friday. And then the pro side ends on a Saturday, and the AM side ends on a Sunday. And so that creates a situation that we hope so that the AMs, as soon as they get done on the other side of the river here at the other course, can come straight over here and watch all the pros. They can help do the UDisc stats and just be really active in enjoying the show that the pros put on. And then the reason that we ended them on different days as well is so that the AMs really have a chance to come watch the final round, and then they get to play their final round in the same format that they just watched the pros play. So we hope that that's really exciting for the AMs, and we hope the pros enjoy all the AMs and all the spectators we have in Waco and from all around Texas watching.
All right. Well, again, this is Ryan Draper, the guy in the driver's seat, but so many other people helping him out. We're here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Looking forward to it for many years to come. Big Germ with a gentle forehand here on the shortest hole of the weekend. Barsby catches one of the trees on the right side. Simon going for the slide, executes perfectly. And Waisaki's off on the right. Let's see what the women did here on hole 14.
Yep.
Some never seen before antics on the tee. I think everyone should just go with this sliding drive like Simon. It seemed to work for him.
It looks like a unique skill that he has. We might need to learn how to do that.
And Barsby hits a pair of trees before getting just inside circle 2. He's left with 65 feet to the pin.
Giving it a great run, just goes just right side of the basket. He's going to have an easy 3 there, but again, this is another one of those shorter holes that you can do, and it looks like our lead card is going to have a tough time trying to do that.
Barsby draws metal from just inside the circle 2 edge. This hole is playing 8th in difficulty. Hole number 14 at 213 feet has a scoring average of 2.75. So at just 213 feet, it is averaging almost a full 2 3/4.
That's proof that Joey is just an evil mastermind. Joey's our course designer.
Barsby dealing with some thorns and underbrush between him and the basket. Certainly not a comfortable position to be in. Solid save here by Greg Barsby. Very rough hole. And Lazat thought he might have been next to putt, however, Big Germ was ready to go.
Wow, that was an awkward.
And Simon Lazat with a birdie, which is actually quite rare from what we've seen in 3 rounds out here this weekend. And Waisaki will tap in. A bit of a backup on our par 5 hole 15. We'll be back in a few moments right here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Hey everyone, I'm here with Chris Finn from Dude. He's going to give us a tour of the Dude RV and tell us what's going on this year.
Come on in.
All right, Chris. So for starters, we're here in the RV. This looks like the living area. What are we seeing?
Yeah, this is where we get to come in and relax. You know, this is generally the only place that we try to keep real clean, nice and easy. So you finish a round, the boys playing, or we've been out there working all day selling clothes or pulling boxes, then we get to kick back in here, have a beer, and chill out.
Well, I saw you all over the country. It was kind of a running joke that every weekend we were running into one another last year. I see this huge map of the U.S. Tell us about 2017.
Yeah, cool. So, you know, we're concentrating a little bit more on the AM events this year and not so much driving. So this year we've kind of, you know, we've come from the west and come down into Texas, and instead of going back up to California and Oregon, you know, I'm going to miss not being there, but, you know, that extra driving is really quite taxing on everyone. So, you know, we've concentrated on the local events around the Texas area, Midwest, and then up into the, you know, Northeast. Yeah.
All right. Now, if somebody wanted to know more about where you were and how they can get Dude apparel and the kinds of things that you're doing, where should they be looking?
DudeClothing.com, Facebook, Instagram, everything pretty much gets shared up there. We also have a new community site called DudeCommunityEvents.com. We're pretty much running pro clinics, doubles events, and also giving ambassadors the opportunity to book in lessons through that website. So if anyone wants to meet a specific Dude ambassador, they can go on there and see where they are all year. There's a calendar there you can minimize by player and go, cool, where are they playing next? I want to go and catch them and say hello, or I want to book a private lesson, and you can do it right there through the website.
Wow, sounds like a great way to get in touch. Talk about your Dude ambassadors. I'm looking around thinking I'd like to be living large in this place, but talk about who your Dude ambassadors are and who they might run into.
Well, on the truck we've got Matt Bell from Latitude and Greg Barsby from Innova. You know, out there with the Discmania truck, you got Simon and Eagle, a few of the girls, Kona, Melody, Jessica, and a few more of the boys like in Europe, KJ, Thomas. I'm sure there's someone I'm forgetting, but yeah, you know, those guys.
Lots of the good pros out there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to show us here in this luxurious RV that's now been on the road for, what, almost a year and a half?
Yeah, it's been on the road. It's been off the road a few times as well. It's a big beast, so it takes a bit of maintenance. And, you know, this year we've got a driver on board and a salesperson who are going to take care of it. They're from Perth as well. Yeah, look, I mean, this is kind of where we do the work. You know, back here is pretty much where we store all the clothing, and you know, this is the inventory. What you see out the front is generally just what's going on up front, but you know, when you see them ducking in the back here, they're reaching in to find some inventory. You know, the pros have got their, you know, place to store all their stuff, and then we got some discs, yeah, hats stored up the top. Up here is what we call the hotbed. That's where I'm sleeping at the moment, and it's a hotbed because A, it's going to get hot in summer, and B, because it's just a spare bed. So if any of our ambassadors, you know, they don't have somewhere to sleep, we basically give them the opportunity to call these guys and say, hey, I don't have accommodation for this tournament, can I take the hotbed? You know, just make sure they're safe. And yeah, back there is where the boys are sleeping. The beds kind of slide up to the top, and then they slide down, and a couple of queen beds for the boys, nice and comfortable. I tell you what, the kitchen's better than my place at home, mate, you know. Yeah.
Is there, I'm thinking MTV Crib style here, MTV Crib style, is there anything in the fridge that's always stocked that has to be there to go?
Well, yes, for sure. There's definitely always a pizza for those last-minute meals. The boys are definitely into the Coke. And then Sharon and Steve on board, they got the Coke Zero. Bacon and eggs, always a good staple. And, of course, Vegemite. You've got to have your Vegemite. It's a good Aussie substance. Yeah, and then there's usually beer in there, but we're out, which is not good because it's St. Patrick's Day today, and we definitely want to have a beer. But we have got some St. Paddy's cakes over here, so yeah.
All right. Well, this has been Chris Finn of Dude. You've seen him all around the country for the last year and a half. You're going to see more of him. Make sure you check out the website, the Facebook page. Huge supporter of disc golf. As Chris has always said, support those who support you. And that means him and Dude and the apparel. So make sure you go out and see it. And what did I see? Is this what we have to end on? Smash Box is awesome. Thank you, Chris Finn. We'll see you on the course.
Cheers, mate.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
So you think you want to play Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy League at Skip Ace? Well, then go to Skip Ace and sign up. Step 1, make a new user. Step 2, log in. Yeah. Step 3, get ready to win some prizes because you're joining the Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy League. Join the Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy League. Password DGPT. Might want to review the rules. If you do well, you get points. You do bad, you lose points. Easy. Step 4, make your picks. Step 5, submit your picks. Step 6, make some popcorn. We'll see you on the flip side at the Pro Tour. Out.
And welcome back to the fairway of hole number 15. Simon Lizotte has thrown his tee shot just a few moments ago. We're going to do our best to try and split up the coverage. James Conrad, as you know, is tearing it up, and we're going to see if we can get one of our additional cameras over to James. And the second card, Miles Seaborn, also shooting very well. So we'll attempt to give you as much coverage as possible. Action from both the first and second card. And Wysocki hits a tree on the right side and kicks hard left. Jeremy Coling was first to tee, however, we were not quite back. However, we've got Greg Barsby third to tee here on our leader card. Barsby with a backhand and gets one of the center trees. Earlier, the women were here on this first par 5. Let's see how they manage to get through it. And we've moved down the fairway. Ricky Wysocki trying to go up and over the trees. The rest of the group is going to move down. There was only one relatively clean shot in the group. We also have just seen that James Conrad has eagled this very hole, hole 13, and he continues to terrorize the Beast course. Greg Barsby from the right-hand rough. And Barsby hits a tree. However, he should be in a decent position to attack the pin from there. Simon Lizotte will be third to throw. And a great skip up from circle 2 to just outside circle 1. He'll have a long look from there. Jeremy Coling sitting at 27 under par, separating himself from the group as Lizotte's at 24. Ricky Wysocki is at 23, and Greg Barsby at 21. And as our players get into position here on 15, we're also able to bring you some action from hole 16. Barsby with a forehand that's high and left, kicking him down into the fairway. And of course, Ricky with a forehand fighting through. He's right side. He'll have a putt from there. Big Germ's disc is up and on this right side. He's going to have a tough angle, however, by far the furthest throw in the group. forehand roller by Coling, and that looked like it was going to get up and through, and it doesn't. The crowd with a collective groan.
Is it me? No.
Harsby draws change with the forehand putt from almost 60 feet. Simons is off the top of the basket on his slight uphill putt. Wysocki is pin high. And a 4 by Ricky Wysocki, working hard for the birdie here on this long par 5. Lizotte is in. Barsby not quite 60 feet on that forehand approach. Maybe closer to 45. And Big Germ is in. Let's go check out the action with Chad and Cameron on the second card. We'll be back in a few moments.
He's going to throw it us pretty soon. We're on this. Okay, great. And we're following the second card here on hole 16, the long par 4. Everybody kept clean drives. And now we'll be looking at some birdie putts for 3.
Yeah, Mike.
That's Mike Litala putting in for 3. It looks like it's going to wind up being a star birdie frame. James Conrad is 9 down through 9 holes right now. He's absolutely lighting this course up. He just carded an eagle 3 on hole 15. Miles cleaning up from within 15. And James has just passed the basket down the slope, but he should still be pretty close. And that's going to be 10 down through 10 holes.
And welcome back. We've got Big Germ on the tee with a very well-placed forehand, except for the last 10 feet. He's just going to have an awkward position to approach the green from there. And Simon Lizotte has pulled this right. However, it did continue on, finishing on the left side of the fairway. Wysocki third to tee. James Conrad had in fact birdied this hole just a few moments ago. He has a one-stroke advantage, and a great shot there by Ricky Wysocki. Craig Barsby fourth to tee. After a second start by Barsby, he releases low, hits the stump we saw yesterday. We've got women's footage right here. We'll be back in a moment. Lizotte is lining up a forehand roller, and it stands up nicely. It's got to just stay off that tree. Had it gotten past it, we'd have had at least 30 more feet. However, he's going to be outside circle two's range, similar to where we saw Wysocki make a long putt from in the opening round. Greg Barsby putting it up here within 10 feet from the pin. Big Germ looks like he's got room to the right side of the tree. He should have A couple different options. I'm guessing it's going to be a forehand approach. He's going to go to one knee. A one-kneed forehand here by Big Germ. I believe we saw 2 of those yesterday by both Big Germ and Ricky Wysocki on this very hole. Very well executed, just a few inches from Greg Barsby. Again, James Conrad is 10 under through 10 holes. Currently has the outright lead over Jeremy Coling. He's sitting at 29 under par overall. Here's Wysocki, also with a kneeling forehand. Beautiful little turn. Kicks off of Coling's disc and underneath the basket. We've got action from James Conrad's second card. We'll be joining them as soon as we can. Thank you guys for tuning into this very exciting finish here of the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, along with Cameron Freimark, trying to call the action from the second card. James Conrad making a charge here today. This is Lizotte, and that is a tree. Lizotte with a very critical mistake here. That's going to keep him outside of circle 1, approximately 14 meters from the pin. Again, Lizotte. He is up to throw next. And tickles left chain, leaving him about 15 feet past the pin. And Big Germ with a mental lapse there for a moment, missing from inside 15 feet. Big Germ does frequently putt very quickly when he has a very short putt. He steps up, so that was definitely part of his regular routine. However, high and left. Clean up by Lizotte. And with that, Conrad will extend his lead. We're going to be back in a few moments as these guys tap out and also bring you more action from the second card.
And we're on hole 17 at the Bees following our second card. James Conrad is currently 10 down through 10 holes. This is Perry putting for par. Conrad's disc is that white disc short of the basket. He'll be getting a 3 and missing a birdie on a short hole that may cost him later. This is Mike Lytle up for birdie.
Yeah.
Taking his time and getting it done. The crowd loves it. And James cleans up for his 3. We're going to move on to hole 18.
Johnny, we're going to get in position.
A little bit of downtime, yes?
Sorry?
We'll probably have a little bit of downtime, yes? Yeah.
And moving right along here, Ricky Wysocki on the tee and placing himself within 12 feet of the pin. And Barsby is just inside the circle. Looks to have about 25 feet. Big Germ also going with a forehand. And also within 15 feet is Big Germ. 3 very successful drives thus far. We'll see if Simon Lizotte goes. Yes, he is lining up a forehand as well. And Simon coming up straight at the pin and lands within 10 feet. 4 solid drives here. Let's see what the women did here on hole 17.
That's what you get.
Dancing around the back of the basket. Greg Barsby with a smile on that one, a little sigh of relief. And Big Germs is high and left and slips through. Easy cleanup here by Wysocki. And Lazat is in. Big Germ's going to be the lone par here. We've got a little bit of a backup on 18. We'll be back with James Conrad and the lead card after a word from our sponsors right here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Sun King Discs, established in 2001. Florida's most respected name in disc sports. Official retail merchandiser of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Currently on tour supporting Discraft and DGA live inventory, free shipping at $12. All orders $19.99, ships in a box, includes single discs, large selection of both stocked and collectibles. Check out the website at www.sunkingdiscs.com.
Get it anywhere close, it stops on a dime, basically.
Looks like you got a little cut roll even.
Yeah.
Doss going back to that TI Buzz.
It's tough to have a good putt long.
Gotcha. Doss going TI Buzz.
Just the perfect height. See, missing left there is not bad because it gets stopped just like you see there. So
there you go. Yeah.
Teeing off is Mike Lidla. He's the 2017 Waco Annual Charity Open Pub Crawl Champion. Up next is Miles Seaborn, who is just a couple of strokes behind the leaders at this point. Throwing a clean forehand to the center Oh, it kicks a little bit off the fairway. Up next is James Conrad, and I'm guessing he's throwing another putter. Gets a little close early on and nestles on the edge of the fairway. Up next is Perry lining up a forehand. Low. And it looks like the whole car has landed in the same area. James Conrad is currently tied for the lead. He's 10 down through 11 holes, which is very impressive on this back course. He managed an eagle 3 on the treacherous par 5 hole 15. I believe what I've just seen for this hole is that there are so far only 2 threes. I know that Eagle got one the first round, and I believe I saw that there's been one other 3 so far on this very difficult par 5. Currently waiting on the third card to finish putting out. Perry is going to have the most open up shot at the basket from here, but it's still a difficult shot. I just heard chains, so I believe that we will be able to start our upshot soon. Perry opting for the turnover, releases it a little bit low, and it's going to roll off the fairway. They're making minis. Conrad with a flexing up shot. Right to the bottom of the hill. The crowd likes it. Lila trying to line up before it can flex back. Miles throwing a little high and catching some of the trees, but he still should have an easy upshot to the basket from there. Mike Lidla with a flex shot.
They're going to be soon here, Johnny. Just so you know. And getting back to the action here with our leader card, who is on the tee of hole number 18. This is the last of the wooded holes, as we've seen on this very challenging beast course throughout the week. First 3 holes being open, the next 9 being quite wooded, including 2 par 5s. And then we'll move into the open areas, or less wooded areas is maybe a better way to put it, for the remaining 6 holes. James Conrad on a tear and currently in the lead at 29 under par. Big Germ, who is 6 under for the round, is at 28 under par. Miles Seaborn, also featured on the second card, is at 10 under par for the round. Ricky Wysocki sits at 5 under for the round and 26 under overall. after a very light redirect. That should work out quite well. Greg Barsby lining up a forehand, and that's coming in just over us and lands in a really good position, left side fairway. Great shot by Greg Barsby. Lazat's forehand, perfectly positioned center fairway, just past the stump. Yesterday that stump was of conversation. Dave Felberg thought he had hit it and kicked his disc to the left when he did not in fact hit it, but he thought that he had. Forehand by Coling is moving nicely, and it is the shortest drive in the group, but it is in a very nice position. Right side, then rolled back down a little. It rolled back like 10 feet. I mean, it was soft. Yeah.
We have Miles putting for birdie. Left side, and it stays in. Mike Lytle from about 17 feet gets his birdie, and James Conrad will be putting out next for his birdie. And a very rare star frame, all birdies on this very treacherous par 5 18th hole. We'll be moving on to the first hole now, or to hole 1.
Yeah. Very clean forehand there by Big Germ. Puring the gap here, finishing up and on the right side. And Wysocki going with a roller, which just misses a cameraman.
Wow.
And not sure that's fighting up on the left side or not. Third to throw will be Greg Barsby. Correction, Simon Lazat. Great turnover shot by Lizotte. Should put him up near the pin. And fourth to throw here now will be Greg Barsby. Barsby hoping for a skip. And it gets up and over. The crowd likes it. We're going to move down the fairway. We'll be back in a few moments.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
James Conrad currently has a 2-stroke lead over Germ Kohling, and Miles is just one back from Germ. Looks like Miles throwing up to the open area to the left.
Barsby from 45 feet is left. Ricky Wysocki is off to the left side, looking straight up the hill, however, very obstructed. I'm not sure he's going to have any look at the basket from where he's at to make this putt. Lunging forward, Wysocki is hung up by a tree. He'll have 10 feet to clean up for the birdie 4. From just outside 40 feet. Lizotte is short and off the front of the cage. As Big Germ walked up to his lie, he gave himself a little bit of a fist pump. He finds himself within 27 feet of the basket. You have a look at Eagle 3. Big Germ with a momentum swing here on 18. We're going to head out into the open holes in just a few moments. Greg Barsby left with less than 15 feet, maybe 16 to 18 actually. Kohling will move to 30 under par. Wysocki is in, and Lizotte will tap in. Currently, Kohling and Conrad tied at Kohling, and we're heading into the open. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
back on hole 1, watching Miles Seaborn, who's currently in 3rd place, lay up and get ready to take his 3 on hole 1. James Conrad, after having a misfire and hitting an early tree, threw a beautiful upshot that is going to leave him with a putt to scramble for his 3 to continue his charge and hold his place at the head of the leaderboard. This is John Perry from just outside the circle. A little bit of a tailwind.
Yeah, we split up the 2 cameras, which is creating different problems, but
that's wind. As I mentioned before, Mike is our pub crawl champion, and clearly that's given him some extra juice out here on the course. Conrad puts it in for 3 to keep his amazing round going alive. And Mile hits left side change to secure his 3 as well. And we'll see John Perry tap out for 4. And we're on our way to the hole 2, the Clownmouth hole.
And after the eagle on hole number 18, Big Germ catches a tree left side, no more than 100 feet off the tee here on this par 4, 555-foot hole number 1. And Wysocki also hits a tree going with the roller attempt on the left side. And Barsby goes right up the middle as it's fading left. Loud gallery applause. Simon Lizotte fourth to tee. And Lizotte opts for the roller. And all sorts of people moving down the fairway, not really caring what we're doing. We've got women's coverage on hole 1. We'll be back with you in a moment.
shot.
And Ricky Wysocki is throwing his approach, which catches a few trees. However, it's carrying toward the pin. As you were watching the women's coverage, we saw Big Germ throw his approach shot to within 45 feet of the pin. So both Big Germ and Wysocki have now thrown their second shots. Barsby and Lizotte further down the fairway. Barsby hoping to get around the tree. He's done that. He'll have a tap-in birdie. Takes a sigh of relief. Lets out a little jubilous. Going to move on. This is Simon Lizotte, who's driven to about 10, maybe 12 feet short of the circle 2, meaning he's about 78, maybe 80 feet from the pin. Simon gives it a run, but he'll have to settle for a easy tap-in birdie 3. And Big Germ actually closer than I had thought from a few hundred feet back. Looks to be about 27 feet for the birdie 3. Big Germ misses again from inside the circle. Ricky from 25. Drains it for the birdie. A huge recovery shot after the roller hit a tree. Simon and Barsby both have birdie looks here. We'll have a very brief walk over to the next hole. Just a few to play. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
If I lay up, I get a personal best. But if I hit the putt, it's a new course record.
And on this 300 footer, Greg Barsby with a smooth forehand. Wysocki's was left, maybe adjusting for the OB shot he had yesterday with a huge skip. And Lizotte also going left unintentionally, and that's going to work out for him. And Big Germ knows that he released early. Looks like he got a little bit of a stop, and we're going to move down the fairway for regular course hole number 2. Big Germ's 37-foot jumper is just off the left side rim. Big Germ frustrated with the missed opportunity there. He's had a few putts from inside the circle that he did not convert on. Ricky Wysocki looks to be a step inside the circle, approximately 32 feet. And the launch is up and in, definitely correcting from yesterday's 4 that he took after skipping OB long. Today playing it further to the right. Barsby is in from the right side. Correction, Wysocki played it much further left. And Simon Lizotte actually went the same route that Wysocki did. However, both of them were very unintentional. The gallery and the crowd continues to move around when they should definitely not be. And Simon's in for the easy birdie. We're moving on to the next one, just a few to play.
Very nice.
We're on hole 3 watching James Conrad line up his upshot. Looks like he's just laying it up. And that's going to be an easy birdie 3 on this hole.
Having trouble finding the discs you're looking for? Disc Golf Center has you covered. Your premier online retailer of disc golf discs and accessories features a live inventory of over 20,000 discs with the exact weight and color you're looking for. Take advantage of our free shipping within the U.S. on all orders over $12 and our customer rewards program. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store. Having trouble finding...
They're birdie 3s.
We'll tell him to get on that. Sounds good, Ricky's going to be ready to go here as soon as they tap in. Let's go. Ricky Wysocki with a backhand drive that is heading toward the OB. That's got to sit. And it does not. It has crossed the road, which of course is out of bounds. Greg Barsby lining up a forehand off the tee. And Barsby hangs it out. It just about gets over the road. Obviously finishing back to the right, and a very well-placed shot by Greg Barsby. Simon Lizotte looked at my scorecard on my phone a few moments ago. He had a few choice words and said nobody's making mistakes, and he needs to get moving right now. I think Simon Lizotte's looking to pick up a stroke here. And that's turned over, however, not enough air in it to fully pan out. He saw where the second card is. He asked to see it on my UDisc Live app. I showed him. He saw that Miles Seaborn and James Conrad are tearing it up, and he knows that he needs to get moving. And Big Germ so eloquently puts it out into the fairway right side. That should work nicely. We're moving down on hole 3.
And another air shot that's headed towards some sidewalk. He needs that to come back. Oh, and it looks like he's on the wrong side of the fence. Conrad opting for a high-speed driver. Most of the drivers I've seen him using are more fairway. Harry's turned his over too much, but I think, oh, we'll see.
Big Germ with a high left forehand, hits near the pin, rolls a little bit, and sits down. Can't be more than 15 feet. He has a look of bewilderment on his face. I think that's normal, but a little more than usual here. And Big Germ still asking what in the world happened there. A very awkward stance here by Barsby, but it looks like he's executed well. Just a bit short. Ricky Wysocki will be eyeing up his inbounds shot as to where he will take it. However, it may be Simon Lizotte next to throw. We'll have to... Yeah, it is in fact Lizotte. A running, leaping putt by Lizotte, and he had the power just a bit right. And also a lunging putt by Wysocki. And Big Germ is just a few inches inside of the circle 1 indicator. And another missed opportunity by Big Germ, again just inside the circle. And Lizotte questioned it for a moment after a low release. Wysocki for par. And our leader card is going to be running out of holes here with James Conrad moving to 33 under par. Barsby's in. Big Germ will have a tap in, and we're moving on to the very free to play.
Oh!
All right, our second card has moved off of the green with a pair of birdies on the previous hole. We'll have Greg Barsby on the tee. Greg Barsby with a stop after a slip on his foot. Barsby going for the roller. He's going to need that to stand up, otherwise that's going to carry hard left. And it continues to head left toward the parking lot. Is it going to check up and sit down? And it looks like he's gotten a possible obese indicator. Simon Lizotte, second to throw. And Lizotte winds up for an air shot. Could have used a little more turn on it, however, it's carrying toward the pin. Great shot. Wysocki lining up a roller. And a horn that went by, thankfully, after Wysocki had released. His roller is carrying toward the pin. And tough to tell from here how close he is, but huge roller by Wysocki. Big Germ throwing a roller as well. And Big Germ's looking for a stand up here. Barsby says, I like that angle. And we've got a long walk here on this par 4. And we'll be back in a few moments. Barsby going up and over the basket, giving it a good run. He was, in fact, inbounds. James Conrad has a major obstacle in his way. The only thing possibly preventing him from the win right now is getting through cleanly on hole 17 the way he's been playing today. I would anticipate he'll do just that if he can get past hole 17 in what I would say a par or better. I'm going to call this James Conrad's tournament. And solid chains by Lizotte with the eagle attempt from just about circle 2's edge. Wysocki a full 10 feet inside circle 2. This is 56 feet. He's known to hit long putts from this range. And he hits left chain, just not enough. If Big Germ has any chance to win this tournament, he's going to need to convert on the eagle here. He's looking at 37 feet. His putting has struggled today. And a fist pump as he heads toward the basket. Big Germ is still in it. It's going to push him to 32 under par. However, Conrad is driving hole 17, or the 17th hole of the day. And Greg Barsby taps in for his 3. He knows it was a little slippery on that left side. We're going to see both Wysocki and Lizotte. They're in for 3s, so they card the birdies. However, Coling is not down and out yet as he moves to 32 under par. We'll be back with just 2 holes to play.
We all have those moments. We have those memories. They're life-changing. They're pivotal. To me, it's really about a life well lived. We make something that at its best has the opportunity to be a part of those moments with people. You decided that we were welcome to be a part of that moment. We weren't even there, but something we do and that we labor really hard to make sure it's really nice and is beautiful, gets to be a part of these other people's memories, and that just feels like a gift.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
We're here watching the second card on their upshots on the very difficult redesigned hole 5 here at the Beast course. Perry throwing into the water. Conrad with the best tee shot, he'll have he'll be able to see the basket a little bit from there, whereas Miles and Lataya will have to make some difficult decisions about whether to go over the rough OB area or over the water. And Lila going with a thumber. Lands safe. The crowd likes it.
Great play.
Maybe we'll see Miles pull out a Scooby for this shot.
Is that a Scooby or a grenade? That's the question.
It's our tournament director, Ryan Draper. Miles taking his time.
There's some background noise as Eagle McMahon almost aced hole 6 over the pond.
What's the distance on that hole?
Oh, it's only 492 over water the whole way.
Has the ace pop been hit this tournament?
I don't think so.
And Miles with the Scooby, center of the fairway. This is a par 4, but it's been playing closer to a par 5 because of the OB left the water. There's also an OB right, the rough. It's been very difficult for players to navigate this weekend.
Have some more background noise as Will Schustrick almost had an all-air ace on hole 6 over the pond. They're really going for it. I think they must be looking at the leaderboard, and they're going all out today.
James Conrad with a turnover shot that goes way over the water, and it looks like it's coming out too early. Oh no.
And if things weren't exciting enough, Conrad takes an OB stroke on hole 5 going into the last hole.
So I can commentate on both.
Minimal amount of wind coming over the pond, playing from left to right. And Conrad throws his left shot into the circle. He'll be settling with a circle 5 on this hole. Miles with a 3 opportunity on our new beautiful baskets.
Yeah, these baskets were part of a sponsorship, our title sponsorship with Dynamic Discs. We're super excited to have Dynamic Discs as our partner this year. They went big on our AM player packs, our title sponsorship, and these awesome new baskets. I heard nothing but good reviews on these baskets just talking to Paige earlier, and she's a fan.
Lila lays up. Berry putting as we look on the beautiful Brazos River and the cliffside here in Waco, Texas. It's a gorgeous day out here.
Jerm has a little life in him here as James Conrad has thrown his second shot OB, and that is heading down toward the water. It checks up and gets the green flag. A moment ago, I saw James Conrad tap out here on the 17th hole. Greg Barsby on the tee. Barsby also with a huge power forehand. That's going to roll. That's going to head toward the parking lot. However, it's rolled. It could roll back in, and it does not. The red flag came out as it was still heading back toward the inbounds area. However, it stables up and goes OB. Find another shot by Simon. He comes in and has planted himself right where the original pin placement has been prior to this weekend before putting it out on this gorgeous Peninsula green. Wysocki lining up a backhand shot. We'll see if he's going aggressive to go up and over. And he does. He goes with a hyzer, which is a very alternative route. He's flirting with the OB as it's coming back. And we did not see it come through. That will end any chance that Wysocki may have at winning this event. I do not believe he made it to the long side green, which means he'll be throwing from a very obstructed right side fairway. I can't even begin to think how many strokes that may cost him. He's going to confirm with the spotter as to if he ever crossed the inbounds area. He's doing that now. And I'm not sure what the crowd or spotter are going to say. It looks like they're giving him the spot from the right side. And there was a little conversation here amongst the gallery. One person claiming that he might have crossed, but it sounds as if there was a spotter right on it. And again, Wysocki's chances here are done. He's going out and over the OB again. He's landed, heading toward the pin. And as good of a recovery shot as he could have possibly thrown. However, Ricky Wysocki will not be winning here today. And as the gallery moves down, Big Germ has a few huge shots left. Just behind me, I'm seeing that the second card is getting ready to tee. And Big Germ is waiting. It looks like our entire lead card is going to stand down for a moment while the second card throws their tee shots. They're no more than 100 feet from where we are currently positioned. Very sizable gallery out here taking in the action live and in person. Miles Seaborn off to my left is throwing his tee shot on hole 18, or the final hole of the tournament, barring any playoffs. James Conrad teeing off on his final hole of the tournament with a one-stroke margin of lead right now. Big Germ has a critical approach shot to throw here on hole 17. But first up is Simon Lizotte, who goes out and over the OB that's tracking toward the water and needs to sit. Hits just about pin high and carries OB. Simon Lizotte will have an inside the circle putt for a possible 4. Greg Barsby will get a spot. Looks as if he is indicated by one of the many volunteers by the hat, letting us know where he went out of bounds. I'd like to thank all of the staff, tournament volunteers, and everyone else for being out here this week. Great action here in Waco. Barsby's forehand is out over the OB, tracking, and just past the basket on the right side. Should be able to save par from there. And Big Germ also heading toward the pin. He's going to try to eliminate putting here on hole 17. I'm joined by Ryan. You ask for a more exciting finish. We've got action on both cards 1 and 2. Who's going to pull this off?
I don't know. This is insane. I don't know if we could ask for anything better than this, and the weather is amazing. I can't call it. I don't know if I want to call it. I'm looking at Conrad just blowing up this course, making it look easy, and I promise, folks, this is not an easy course.
There's no chance of helicopter back, because, I mean, the way it was flying,
And Ricky Wysocki's trying to clarify as to if there's any way. Again, Ricky getting clarification as to if his shot ever crossed the inbounds area. Again, we were not at the tee area. I'm guessing he called a provisional shot before he threw from the right side fairway. And once he got down here, he further clarified, and he was notified that he did not ever cross the inbounds area, so his initial shot will stand. And now he's looking just about at circle's edge. This is Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah.
Huge putt by Ricky Wysocki. Again, with the penalty, he does not have a chance to pull this off. James Conrad was safe on his tee shot. Big Germ here is next to the pin for a birdie 3. And Lazat is in. Greg Barsby with penalty will save the par 4. And Big put it within arm's reach and taps in for the birdie. This is coming down to the last hole. Tour.
Achieving greatness requires hundreds of days of preparation, which is why the people at Vibram have worked for over 3 years to make their first ever distance driver the longest and straightest in the game. Introducing the new Vibram Lace, helping you achieve your greatness.
Okay, I got the green. I'm with you guys now. I'm the lead card now.
And the biggest drive of the tournament is right here with Big Germ. If this is clear and in, he's going to have a long shot at eagle from there. James Conrad had tapped in for the birdie. James Conrad sitting at 34 under par. If Germ can make that putt, he will win the tournament outright. Barsby going out and over. The lightest winds we've seen here on the final hole of the day. And Barsby skips up within 25 feet. Big Germ will be faced with a long eagle putt. If he can make that, he will win. If he simply birdies, this will go into extra holes. That is short. Unfortunately, the two holes with the least amount of trees on the course seem to give us some of the most trouble in terms of our signal. But stay tuned. I think we're going to go into extra holes here if Big Germ does not convert on the eagle putt. And a green flag. This was the women's final hole, of course, earlier today. Let's see how they performed as we closed out the Waco Annual Charity Open.
Waco Annual Charity Open, presented by Dynamic Disc Champion for the Women's Open Division, Paige Pierce.
Back. Johnny, just count me in. And welcome back. I am now again rejoined, or I'm joining you, I should say, here on the 18th green. Cameron Freimark. Cameron, we split off a few hours ago, and we both got to see some incredible action. What happened?
My goodness, it's just been so exciting. Miles and James Conrad have really lit this course up, and now coming into the last hole, if Germ sinks this putt, which I think is about an 80-foot putt, he can win this, but it seems like there's probably going to be a playoff. It's really exciting.
It is very likely, unless Germ can heroics. And all of the players are taking a look again. Big Germ, the only one left to possibly win this. If he can convert on the long eagle attempt. First, it looks like we'll have Ricky Wysocki throwing his approach shot more than 100 feet from the pin. And Ricky will settle for a putt to finish out the weekend. Ricky Wysocki will move to 31 under par. It's fluttering in the wind and goes just past the basket. Ryan Draper, what is the playoff situation here if this moves into one?
So we set up a playoff rotation of hole 3, 4, 5, and 6.
All right, there it is. This is Big Germ for the win. Or the layup playoff. All right, so again, where are we going to be heading?
We're going to go to hole 3 to begin our playoff, and we're going to do a continuous loop until somebody wins a hole 3, 4, 5, and 6.
All right. Greg Barsby has a short tap in here.
Yeah, Barsby!
A solid finish here by Greg Barsby. Wysocki is in. Simon Lizotte will putt next. And Big Germ. All right, Cameron, we've got extra holes that we're going to move into. This is not over. Big Germ finishes with the birdie, and we're going to round up James Conrad coming off that second card, and we're going into a little bit of overtime. We'll see you guys in a few moments. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors as we move to the playoffs starting on hole number 3. Joining me now is Paige Pierce, a 6-time winner here on the PDGA Tour so far this season. 6 for 6. How does that feel?
It feels really good. I just hope I can keep it going.
2 for 2 on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. A great win at the Memorial, and now here we are in your home state of Texas. A little extra love and support while you were here?
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely. You know, the whole DD crew's here supporting me, and you know, a lot of people that I've kind of grown up playing with, or you know, just in the disc golf community. I've known all these people since I was probably 14 or so.
Well, when you went out this morning, you had a 3-stroke lead over Sarah Holcomb, and as expected, you guys got into the woods, and Sarah's got that sidearm dialed in. Tell us what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, her sidearm's dialed. I've seen her throw angles that I've never seen any of the top men throw. So it's hard to keep up with her in the woods for sure, especially when I'm throwing errant shots and kind of grip blocking. So I managed to get out of there, you know, without too much damage, and then, you know, got out to the open and felt a little bit more confident.
At one point, she actually gained the lead on you. She made the deficit up and then gained the lead on you. What were you thinking as you were just about to get out into the opening?
Yeah, I didn't know if she did or not, but, you know, I knew it was really close, if not. And, you know, I was a little bit nervous, I will admit. You know, I was just like, come on, you got to get the momentum back, because I don't really keep track of scores, but I knew she was on the box. And if she's on the box, that and, you know, I was just like, get the box back and stay there, basically.
What would you say was the turning point of the entire round?
For me personally, I felt like it was hole, but you know, there's still a lot of golf left at that point, and that's 18
on the regular course.
Yeah,
yep.
Regular 18. We all had very, very, very bad drives, like very bad, and I managed to scrap a 4 out somehow. The next 3 shots were really good, and I felt, you know, with 3 good shots in a row, and that was my last hole in the woods, I thought that I gained the momentum back. So as long as I could keep it in the fairway, that I thought I had the momentum.
Well, very solid play this weekend. Where do you go for the next week before you get back to the Pro Tour?
Well, I'm going to go home for a couple days. That's the beauty of being an hour away from my house right now. And then headed to Temple, Texas for the A tier, and then I believe after that is Nick Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
and then Texas State's, and then Arkansas, and then Texas Women's, and then an off week for Madison's birthday. That's awesome. And then the whole summer tour starts.
All right. Well, she said she loves being in Texas for a number of weeks at a time. It showed with an opening win here this first weekend. We'll see her and wish her the best of luck throughout the next few weekends, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks at the Nick Hike. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's get back to the... All right. And joining me now is Joey Harrell. Joey, talk a little bit about the history and everything that's taken place here for the amazing disc golf scene that you guys have here in Waco.
Sure. We started this tournament 21 years ago. Troy Taylor was the guy who had the vision on starting this tournament. He was looking to give something back to the community and to one of the local charities, and that was Friends for Life. It was something that helped the elderly and disabled around the Waco area. And Troy did it the first year, got it started. Brian McGee was also instrumental in it. I helped out a little bit, and then Brian and I took it over the second year. Brian left me after the third and left me on my own, and I ran it for 10 more years. Then we had Shannon Quillen take it over. He ran it a little bit, and he's still running it. And we've kind of been grooming Ryan to take it over, and I think he's the perfect fit for it. He's probably going to do a better job than all the rest of us.
Well, it's certainly a massive undertaking. You guys have run everything from non-sanctioned events all the way up to pro tours, national tours, and everything in between. What is it like for the community to have this asset, or the 2 disc golf courses that you guys feature? What's it like for the community here?
Oh, it's great for the community. I mean, they get out, they're in the park all the time. They come through, they see disc golf, they're introduced to it that way. Same way I was. John Houck put in 9 holes over here back in '93 on the other side of the river, and I was driving home from work one day and saw some guys playing. Stopped, asked them what they were doing, went and bought a couple discs, and that got me started on it. And then it's developed from there into what it is today.
Did you ever think way back then that we'd see so many competitors out here from all around the country all coming to Waco to play golf?
No, not at this level. It started out really small with Circular Skies tours we had here, and it's just grown to what it is today.
All right. Would you like to say anything? Maybe welcome people to the area, tell them what they're missing out on if they're not coming to play golf here in Waco?
Oh, they're missing out on a great park. They're missing out on a great city, a great tournament. We've got a lot to offer here in Waco. I know a lot of people drive through on I-35, and all they see is just that strip of stores and business and everything. They don't really get off the main road and get into Waco and see what we have to offer. But as far as thanking people, I want to thank all our volunteers. They've done just a fantastic job. I can't name them all, but Charlie Farrer, Ninja Bob, all those guys who just pitched in. It's all been a big group effort, and we couldn't have done it without them.
Well, we're glad to be here. This is, of course, the second stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour this year. Joey and Ryan and the rest of the crew continue to do amazing work. We look forward to seeing them for many years to come right here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And welcome back. We are here and just about to start the playoff, joined by Cameron Freimark. And Cameron, holes 3, 4, 5, and 6 in that order until this is taken care of.
Yeah, you know, those holes give you the best opportunity to have spectators, have everybody able to catch the action. We've got some big bomb holes with OB flanking the left and right side, and it feels like the wind is picking up a little bit too. So they're going to have tailwinds for the first couple of holes and headwinds for the next one. It's going to be really fun and exciting golf, and I'm so happy to be here for it.
Well, the gallery, as you said, they really just had to shift from turning and looking at hole 18, rotate 180 degrees, and they're right here on hole 3 watching the action. Is this thing going to get finished off by an eagle possibly on one of these holes?
It's completely possible. Somebody can crush one on this one. There's an opportunity because of the tailwind. If you throw it high and catch the right angle, it can really push and get you down there for it. And the same thing on the next hole. So be really excited to see the decisions they make and what actually happens.
All right, we're going to get right to it here. Big Germ and James Conrad. A battle of the Twin Towers here. I think combined they stand about 23 feet tall. I'm not sure what the holdup is at the moment. I don't know if we're waiting on it some official capacity. I'm not sure. Exchange some. Oh, and there seems to be a covert operation taking place. I'm smart enough to know that they're talking about a split of the money. I'm not going to say that in any official capacity, of course, but I think they're having that conversation as to whether or not there may be a split of the money. I'll just hang out over here.
Can you talk to Johnny?
We are live and waiting on what's going on. Steve Dodger, Pro Tour Director. Steve, what do you got for us?
So a lot of times when two players tie, you have a playoff.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's... I'm ready for them to throw. I don't know if they are, but... or are you going to get in on this, or why are we standing around?
I'm loose. I am loose. It's been... there's a lady over there giving massages right next to the spa, right there, and that's where I was. I was like, put some more hot rocks on that. I need to chillax, because there's just nothing to do.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready.
I think we're going to let... I could introduce people, or we could let Ryan Draper. Hey, Cameron, is Ryan on his way?
That works well.
Truck, Steve. Maybe if you stand on top of this.
Can I jump on your shoulder?
There he is.
There's Ryan. If you focus on that Ram 2500,
they a tour sponsor?
Not a sponsor, not a sponsor, but a decent truck. Not as good as the 3500. Yeah. So, if that car moves back just a little bit, that Subaru would fit right underneath it. I think we're ready for Ryan to make the call.
All right, guys, we are confirmed. We have a tie. Jeremy Colling, James Conrad with a 167. James Conrad gets the box with the hot round of a 52. That's a new course record.
There you go. Ryan Draper, the TD, says it best. And we are off for the playoff. And James Conrad getting everything into that. That's checking up nicely. It's going to finish short of the OB. Will it sit? It rolls out into the OB. Big Germ's got a decision to make here. He needs to put this in bounds. Big Germ opts for the forehand. He knows it's in bounds. Hits off the tree. However, he should have an easy approach up and down from there. We're going to see if there's any heroics left in James Conrad.
Yeah, he still might have a look at a putt from there. He might be able to still get his circle 3. It'll be a big putt. And Germ's going to have to contend with that tree. This is still an interesting... This playoff isn't over yet.
Again, James Conrad with the honors. It looked like it was going to come in and stay safe. However, at the last moment, trickled out of bounds. This playoff right now looking like it might be just a single hole. James Conrad has a little work to do. Steve, what's going on here?
It sounded like James had some trouble on the first shot. I didn't see it. I was trying to get a file to Johnny, but I'm having trouble.
We can get our correct files over to Johnny V back at the controls. We're moving down the fairway here. Again, James Conrad just slipping out of bounds. Big Germ, if he can get up and down, will put himself at least in a push position here. In worst case scenario, if he takes the birdie, James Conrad will have to throw one in from a long range to save the circle 3. Big Germ goes with a forehand out and over that comes up just short. A very short putt from there for the 3. The gallery gets louder as we're moving down. They know that James Conrad is going to have to throw this in for any chance here to extend this playoff. And Conrad's hopes will end there. Great run from 60 feet. James graciously with a smile on his face knows he was in and out from just a few feet. This is Big Germ from 5 feet. And Big Germ in playoff fashion here taps in for the birdie 3. Big hugs for James Conrad, and what a battle it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 champion for the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Dynamic Discs, Jeremy Coling.
Hey buddy, how you doing, man?
Good. Cameras.
Huge gallery, lots of people watching online. Tell us, how does it feel?
Man, it was looking bleak there coming at the end. James was just killing it, man. What a round he shot today, and you know, he really put the pressure on from second card. I made a mistake this morning. I said if I shoot a hot round on lead card, I was going to win it, and James proved that you know, it's not always that safe. It's not always that easy. So I mean, he killed it and put the pressure on us, and you know, I can't believe that I ended up this way, and man, it's just been awesome tournament from beginning to end. The staff and the spectators and everything out here is just, I love this course, and man, it feels so good right now. It's awesome.
Earlier in the round, you let a few short putts slip by. You could tell you were frustrating. How did you regain your focus to come down the stretch and ultimately get the win?
You know, it's tough to say. You know, I certainly let some of those go, and I was, like I said, I was focused on my card, and I was doing the things I say not to do. I was focused on, you know, where I was versus the people on my card, and I started to get complacent. I had a 4-stroke advantage on a couple of guys on the card, and I thought that was going to be good enough. I could just sail, and it doesn't work that way, and you got to be not in attack mode, but you have to be out there getting it done every hole, and I let a few slip, but as soon as I realized where I was in the tournament, it got me refocused, and back in tie and winning the playoff.
Walk us through the last hole, or shall I say the playoff hole. You watched him go first, you watched him throw OB. What were you thinking?
Well, regardless of where his drive was going to go, I wasn't going to change my game plan. Putt for 2, I was just going to have to be more aggressive with my shot because I hadn't practiced that shot all week, and I wasn't about to try something new. So, I mean, regardless of the result of his shot, I wasn't going to change anything. So, I'm just a bit unfortunate of his last second, it just kind of scooped and rolled out of bounds for James, and he gave it a great bid on this putt. But, you know, it's just today forcing smiles on my side. So.
Well, your world's doubles partner in Paige Pierce also victorious, perfect on the season. Anything about the game as she was charging? She could have been hanging with the men this weekend.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Paige's game is outstanding, and like she said, she's not going to lose this year. I know there's some people that think differently, but she's comfortable, and I mean she's got just so much momentum going right now that. Come on, bring it out. Bring it to the open side. Let's see how you do. I'm sure she would cash way up there. You know, I mean, she's a hell of a player, and seems like anytime I win a big event, you know, Vibram Memorial, now this one, you know, she's won on the women's side. So we got a little connection. I love that girl wherever she is. She's one of my favorite people in the world.
Well, maybe she can carry you to another doubles title at the Worlds this year.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I've got to thank the amazing staff and crew that I've been working with, both and Johnny V back home, as well as Cameron Frymark, Steve Dodge, and the rest of the entire Waco Disc Golf association and organization. Texas has been amazing. We'll be back here in 2 weeks for the Nick Hyde Memorial, your third stop on the 2017 Disc Golf Pro Tour. We'll see you then when you step inside the Smash Box.
Also, real quick, I want to say thanks to Charlie Farrar for giving me a place to stay this week, and Wynn Seltzer for caddying. She came from Charlotte to be on tour this year. Thanks to everyone out here, and back to what he said.
All right, we'll close it out. That's Big Germ, your champ from Waco, Texas.